I am he and you are she and we are three and we all come together right now. Mr. Rogers, hello neighbor. Welcome Revision Gallery. Welcome the Skrauss of Instagram. Welcome all of Instagram. Welcome everybody who's my hero. We are here. Welcome to this episode of We Are Here. We're at the top of the hour. When this gets to the bottom, we'll have a commercial. And when it gets to the top, we'll be done. And I'll be saying, sayonara, thanks for joining me. I'll keep it right over here. You can keep an eye on it. So let me tell you. Today, incidentally, we're open. Started reworking this 2 days ago. And I discovered that this angel, the angel Gabriel, or whatever his name is, that's ushering the peg-leg monkey into the underworld, is not an angel at all. It is the Blessed Virgin Guadalupe, Senora Guadalupe. I am going to finish painting her in a little bit right now, adding some details based on this candle, which I got at a local Kenosha supermercado. Virgin Guadalupe, she's pretty great. She's one of the famous Black Madonnas, possibly the most adored apparition of the Blessed Virgin in Mexico. And the best saint. Okay, this is a police call box. In the city of Milwaukee, we have these police call boxes. They're square on a square post. And it divides this painting into two halves, night and day. Also back cover and front cover, because this is from the comic book, The Feast of the Peg-Leg Monkey, from the series Comic Book Covers to Comics That Don't Exist. Feast of the Peg-Leg Monkey, issue 26, I'll have you know. All right, team, now I'm going to do my best to... I'm operating a close-up camera for the edit. I'm putting it right in front of my easel. It's impractical, but functional. Which means it's not functional and barely practical. How's this working? I have my, okay. Stand by. My producer is AOL, and I am SOL. There we go. Okay, we got it. So everybody can see the clock, everybody can see me. I'll try to stay out of the way of the painting as I work. And turning on this guy. Flip camera. This is something that was very special back in the day before the iPhone became high-def video in everybody's pocket. This filled that gap. Fits in the palm of your hand. You can just slide it in your pocket. Stand by. Okay, Blessed Virgin Guadalupe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to turn this traffic light into her crown. She's wearing this crown. I'm going to just try to make that traffic light take the place of the crown. So I don't need to, because everything else is literal. It's like those if you remember that famous painting of Christ where he doesn't have a halo, he's just sort of glowing. And you can tell that he's glowing because all the light, all the shadows are being cast from him, right? The light emanates, and you can see its effect. Non-literalization. Well, I'm going to non-literal, even though I have literal wings made of fire. The Guadalupe of the Virgin doesn't have wings. Because she's not an angel. Okay, I keep saying that I'm about to start, and then I have something else to tell you. There's a famous psychologist who wrote a book about the Black Madonna, and he just frankly calls the Black Madonna a goddess. I never understood how Catholics could pray to saints and the Black Madonna and not consider her a goddess. So therefore, she has wings. And we're going to turn this into a non-literal halo. Let's do it! But first, the colors of the mantle. Looking for Prussian blue. This is Prussian blue hue because non-name brand acrylic company only produces archival colors. And Prussian blue, it's its natural pigment is non-archival. It's a dye. It's not actually a pigment. Okay. You can think of pigments and dyes in this way. Dyes are non-archival because they're thinner and the light beats down and destroys them. Whereas a pigment is when you get down small enough, an actual rock. And light hits the rock and the rock pushes back. Valentine's Day chocolate. I just ate a bowl of granola that was years old in the bag, and it says share a sunset. So I just ate this bowl of granola, and can you read that? Doesn't matter. And I'm feeling a little bit rancid in my stomach now. The oil around the fried granola was rancid. I could taste it. But I ate the whole bowl. I made sure I finished because I'm in the Clean Plate Club. Guadalupe. Oh! Guadalupe's mantle is turquoise. Let's make sure that happens. I gotta add some green. I might add it right over the top of that. Let's see what we can do. My go-to green is chromium oxide green because it's drab. I'm addicted to bright, vibrant colors. And if the whole painting is bright and vibrant, you can't see the brightness. It competes with itself. And now, I'm going to add bright vibrancy to the drab. I'm adding phthalo blue, my favorite blue. Actually, it's my third favorite blue. Okay. It's the blue that art professors love to hate. Okay, this will be pretty good. I'm going to add some white. This is the color we're looking at. Can you make that out? Can't really see it. It looks black. My first stretch goal on Patreon, should you decide to follow me, is to stream from my laptop and have multiple cameras that we can edit back and forth between. So if you want to make that happen, Patreon/the Skrauss, one word. Go visit. Make your precious donation of your precious funds to your precious Skrauss, and I will give you prizes. Do you hear me? Prizes. First prize being you'll learn to paint. Now, let's do it. Adding this white. Okay, I see by adding the white that the blue is actually wonderful, but it's not quite green enough. I'll show you what I mean by wonderful. It looks like this. Does that look wonderful to you? Can you even see that? Oh yeah, baby. You know you got some serious blue when it does that. That was a meaningless string of syllables you just witnessed. Meaningless! It had no meaning. I'm at Revision Art Gallery in Kenosha. You know that, and now you know that. I'm simulcasting on 2 Instagram streams, my own and Revision Art Galleries. I am here. I am live. I encourage you to come down and visit. Bring your friends. Bring your friends with thick Chicago wallets. Alright, so this goes over like that. Correcto mundo. Let's see. Does this. Comes down through here. Goes down behind the pig leg monkey's flat face. Okay, there's her hand, so it comes down like this. Oh, okay, I already had it painted in. All right. The pink here is her tunic or whatever she wears underneath the mantle. I'm not sure what that piece of clothing is, not being an Aztec. I went to see, I'm the sexton at Our Lady of Guadalupe in Milwaukee, and I went to the Feast of Guadalupe, December 12th. It's bigger than Christmas. They go all out. It's like a 4-hour-long church service, in the middle of which they have Aztec dancers come in with these thundering drums, blowing in conch shells and dancing and feathers going everywhere. It's absolutely wonderful. It makes your heart stir like all religion should be this pagan. In fact, the priest confided in me that he had to leave the sanctuary and go to the church school building, climb up the stairs to the top floor, and be alone because he was hyperventilating. I was like, yes, so was I in my soul. It was so wonderful. Okay, I really love this blue that I mixed up. Okay. Just slathering it on, not being too precise. Because I like to let the previous layer show through. I don't want to obliterate it. Oh, I accidentally painted over his fingies. Okay, I'm going to bring you in for a close-up. This... Ugh, I caught a galash. Okay, so we got the peg leg monkey and the blue mantle. So you see the peg leg monkey's very subdued grays and very dark red there. Because he is in darkness compared to the Blessed Virgin apparition of Senora Guadalupe. How did I have this arranged? Does that work? Does that stand? Black Madonna skin tone on her because the goddess does have skin, and it is Black Pride Month. Or, wait, no, African Heritage. What month is it? February. And she's the Black Madonna. So that means she's going to be black. I will use ivory black because I don't want it to be an opaque hole of darkness, her face. In fact, I'm going to actually mix brown in there. Black and brown. For brown, I'm using burnt umber. There's a difference between umber and ochre and sienna. I should show you. I should show you the difference. Let's show it. Let's look at the difference. Wipe off my palette knife. If you have a palette knife, you'll find the knife you like the best, but I have found that I only use the square-tipped palette knife. That's all I use. I found this one, and I found this one in art school. I use neither of them. I bought this one. I was using it for mixing paint a lot. I don't use it anymore. This one has no curve. It's just straight. And then I bought this one because I thought it would be great for those little in-between spots. But I never use it. So I'll sell it to you. $2. Come and get them. A piece. Now then. Burnt sienna. Looks like this. Burnt umber. Looks like this. Come on, umber, you're embarrassing me. So there we got it. Burnt umber and burnt sienna. It's obvious, even in this poor video reproduction. So what did I say I was using for Guadalupe? Burnt umber. I don't want her to be red. Burnt sienna is red. In fact, it's often in traditional palettes replaces the color red. And where did I put the black? It's over there. Add some magic sauce. Non-name brand glazing fluid. Interesting. All right. Now she's as black as the peg leg monkey. That's not right. I might have to keep her white, even though she's the Black Madonna, just for the idea that she's bearing light and holiness. Okay, so then, now that that is ruining the painting, I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and then I'm going to wipe it off. That is part of the method. Paint on, wipe off. I learned it from the Karate Kid. Hey, maybe that's enough time. Let's wipe and see. Yeah, good. All right, it's leaving some good trace residue color. Trace residue color, technical term. That hand is, the left hand is hopeless. The one that's grabbing the peg leg. This is Prussian. That's right, and that is still not green enough. I'm gonna have to do something drastic. I'm going to break out the cadmium yellow light pure. No, I'm not. I am using Aureolin Hue by No Name Brand Production. Aureolin Yellow. I don't even know what this is. I don't know anything about this this color. I'm putting it on here. All right, it's nice and bright. And I'm going to have to let this sit for a while because right now all I can see is the yellow. I can't really, because I'm looking at yellow, I'm seeing yellow. I don't really see the green. One thing I can tell though is that it's a little too bright. Mix it up. Okay, that's better. That's a little more subdued. Just mixing up the junk on my palette now. How's that? Oh, okay, that's a little too green. Like I said, her mantle was, what did I say? Not topaz. There's a name for the color. What's the name of that color? Minty green. What do you call that? If anybody is good buddies with Graham Reed of the Museum of Wisconsin Art, tell him to call me. I mean, tune in. Tell him to tune in. Or call me. This is how an artist operates. From one incompetence to another. If anybody tells you, or you see these Instagram videos where they just knock something out in like 20 seconds, if they're not doing it trial and error through the process of creation and destruction and destruction and destruction and creation, they're not doing it right. They're not painting from their soul. They're painting from their know-it-allness. But don't blame me. That's just the booze talking. All right, so it's still working on trying to get this green minty. And I realized, oh, turquoise. Her thing is, did I say turquoise? Is it? Where's the... See, now it looks blue to me. Her mantle, this image of Guadalupe, painted itself. Juan Diego was this kid, had to take care of his sick father, and he was running to his sick father, and the Blessed Virgin appeared to him and said, Juan Diego, build me a church. And he's like, what? Come on, I got to visit my sick father. And he runs and takes care of his sick father, and she goes, don't you trust me? He gets there, his sick father is all taken care of, all better. And he comes back, and he's like, Blessed Virgin, what do you want me to do? And Guadalupe says, build me a church. He's like, I can't do that, I'm just a kid. I got to go talk to the bishop. And she's like, but he won't believe me. Or he tells the bishop doesn't believe him, something along those lines. He needs proof. Goes back to the Virgin Guadalupe and she says, here's your proof, dumbass. And she gives him, it's the middle of winter. Winter, this is Aztec land, aka Mexico. And she gives him a shirt full of roses. And he carries the shirt and he goes in front of the bishop and he's like, I have your sign from the Blessed Virgin. Whoosh! Dumps all the fresh roses out on the ground. And this is before FTD. This is before Hermes Special Delivery Rose Shop down the street. They were amazed. And then they looked up, and Juan Diego's shirt had the picture of the Blessed Virgin on it. Printed on his shirt. Printed by the pigments of flowers. I forgot why I'm telling you that story. It painted itself. This shirt is still in existence. And they say it's an obvious miracle because the textile it's printed on is a textile that should have rotted away by now. And it's also survived a bomb blast and bullets. It's behind glass at a shrine in Mexico that people go to this shrine and you can see it across the parking lot and they crawl on their knees all the way across the parking lot to get to it. But I'm not doing that for you. She should crawl on her knees to me. Oh, down here is an angel holding up the moon, which holds up the Blessed Virgin Guadalupe. Here's something interesting. I recommend reading books by Jacques Vallée. He's a ufologist, that is, a guy who studies UFO aerial phenomena. And he calls sightings of the Blessed Virgin BVMs, Blessed Virgin Mary. And he considers them the same thing as UFO and alien visitations. Okay, that's fascinating, but is it true? I don't know. That's too green, I gotta add white. I'm gonna add a glaze of white. And if it is true, I'm not gonna take Vallée's theory anywhere because it's not as fun. I'd rather believe that the universe is full of spirits and gods than, well, essentially he's saying that the alien phenomena is supernatural. He's not saying that they're from space. But still, what a way to dumb it down. Let me tell you, when those Aztec dancers went through, even though they were half-assed, and it's not like watching a K-pop band, these are all amateurs. It's amateur hour. It's literally amateur hour where they're just enthusiastic. So they devote some time practicing and they go around to different churches and perform the dance. Anyway, white. Here we go. So I'm at the stage where I'm just smearing things on, hoping something sticks. This looks whiter than it is because the glaze, when wet, appears white. So I'm not sure how much this will cover and how much it won't. Getting nervous, so I'm adding some other colors in there. A little yellow. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have added that yellow. Okay, let's go back to straight white. Yeah, it is. In fact, it actually needs to be bluer now. It's way too green. Back and forth, creation and destruction. So, I'm going to add Prussian blue. My favorite blue. Prussian blue was invented by a guy who was trying to find a dye, a red dye. And he was using potash and some other chemicals and mixing them together. But he was using some contaminated potash because he didn't have any fresh stuff. See, that's way too dark. I shouldn't have used Prussian. Live and learn. Or, in my case, live and keep living because you're never going to learn. But fortunately I have some white on my palette. It's a customer.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? You guess what do you got there? I think that's what I want. Were you here earlier?
I was here this morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love this guy.
I came back because I know you're open in the afternoon.
Oh, thank you. Hey,
Have a great day.
stand by. I think this is it. Okay, Cave Dweller, give me your address. The postcards arrived. These were sent back to Nashville, or no, wherever they're from, somewhere in Tennessee, twice. UPS sent these cards back twice. They were supposed to be here a week ago, Tuesday, and smell the fresh chemicals of printing. Go ahead, smell it. They're supposed to be here then, and they didn't arrive because they sent them back. Why did they send them back? Inclement weather. They got here again this Thursday. This Tuesday, sent them back. Why? Inclement weather. So UPS says, oh, it's inclement weather. Don't put them on the truck. Put them on this other truck. We don't want our trucks going out in inclement weather. Unless it's going back to Knoxville, Tennessee. But the cars are here. But it's too late. The event is tomorrow. I don't have time to pass these out. If you want, I'll mail one to you. But you got to send me postage and an envelope big enough. You know, now that I look at these cards, I don't know if they're that appealing. I mean, they're brown on both sides. Brown and beige. The least appealing colors in the universe. Not nearly enough blue, but let's look at what it says. It says, can you draw Batman in 10 seconds? Yes, you can. And that's what I'll be teaching you in my class tomorrow. Come on in. And we that's just one like 30-second moment. But I'm going to be teaching cartooning and how to tap into the subconscious and build stories using comics and cartooning. I'll teach you a workaround for any lack of drawing skills, and I'll teach you workarounds. So one is drawing as swiftly as possible. Two is drawing with symbols, and then there's some other ones that I can't remember at the top of my head because I have chosen to forget them because of the trauma of postcard not arriving. But now here it is. I said I want a refund or I want these by tomorrow. That's what I said yesterday. Those bastards. What I really wanted was the money. Okay, that's what we got. We get what we live with, and we live with what we get. This is not the right color. I don't like this color one iota. But let's see what we got. See, now it's not bad. That's not too shabby. This color doesn't suck ass. So now you know what I'm going to be doing. Now I'm going to be going out as soon as I get offline with you and we turn off the on-air sign. I'm going to be running around Kenosha like a bat out of Hades corpus and passing out flyers for an event that's tomorrow. But it's all right, Cave Dweller. Tomorrow is only the preseason class event. The actual class is now going to start in March because not only did this not work out, but our ad in the Kenosha News failed because Kenosha News failed. Now, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I mean, Kenosha News failed. They should take responsibility and teach the class themselves. But that's all right. I hold no malice. Emotion is for lesser beings. Okay, I'm obliterating too much here. I'm going to have to go back in later. I'm going to take a break on this color right now because I'm just not getting it. I'm going to work on the traffic light as promised. I really liked here how it was black. So I'm going to keep it black. And I'm going to start by just adding some white. The thing I like about white, you're taught not to use it as a color in art school, but what they really mean is don't use it to make things light, to go from light to dark. Using it as a standalone color, I think is wonderful. I should probably put it right over her head. The wipe off method. We are at a half an hour. You have braved 30 minutes with the Skrauss. I want to thank you, Stellar Thoughts, and Terry Margaret for joining me and staying this long, and you too, Home Slice, with the Sacred Geometry. So now we have a commercial for something. Oh, where is it? This episode of Image for Hire, live painting with the Skrauss, has been brought to you by Skywater. Skywater. Water. Water that I harvested off the roof of my garage. Okay, well, it smells a little bit like garlic, but here's dirt in your eye. Ah, tastes like the sky. Even when the jar smells like garlic, sky water. Tastes like Zeus's, I don't want to say testicles. I mean, because it tastes delicious. It's as refreshing as the ionization of water. Sky water. Okay, back to this. Getting to work. This is night. Turquoise on Guadalupe isn't looking that bad, actually, now that I'm taking a second gander. Let's put some detail in her rose-colored undergarment that I don't know what it's called. This is some kind of flower. I only use 2 brushes. I use this brush, and I use this brush. I use a medium, flat, and a small flat. And sometimes when I'm feeling zesty, I use a big flat. Flats hold more paint. Okay, so this is a yellow. Okay, I'm copying these flowers. Kind of go like this. It's possible that this brush is too thick. I might have to break up the little dinky brush. I hate doing that because it doesn't hold a lot of paint. If this was an oil painting, the little dinky brush would be no sweat because oil goes forever. This was a brush once, many years ago. It's actually a hair brush. It's not a synthetic. But oh, hey, here's a long brush that I bought. This was long, and now it's all spread out, but it used to be nice. And it just got wore out. See, now it's practically just a round stick. Like, it's even warped. I don't use it anymore. So when I'm using a small brush like this, I have to add a lot of water just to get the right amount of flow. The trouble is I'm painting upright and everything wants to dribble down. So you can see the gigantic, maybe you can't see, but you'll be able to see in the close-up. No, you won't. All right, let's get this in there. Come on, close up, pants. There we go. All right, well anyway, so this is about the same thickness, if not thicker, than the flat. What gives? You might say it's operator error. You just can't control your brush. Speaking of operator error, I updated the Revision Gallery website. There's an update all about me, and I wrote it. So you can read all about it. It's in the blog section. Also, I finally got rid of the whole page devoted to the, what is it when you call somebody in to judge you and tell you you're not good enough to enter the show? There's a whole page devoted to that. That's gone. We got rid of that. Oh yeah, things are happening here at Revision Gallery. We're entering the 21st century of awesome. Okay, so let's go back to this. I don't know why I'm wearing glasses. Oh, my postcards came in. I'm so excited and disappointed. How could you make postcards with brown on both sides? What possessed me to think that was a good idea? Why didn't you stop me? Okay, I'm sorry that you weren't there to stop me. Here we are. This is a great, I love copying these. Oh! Interesting. I should have held this up to my face right at the beginning. So this part of the flower is made by the underside of the design. This thing outside. Typically I would want to practice this. I mean, atypically. I don't like practicing. I never practice, but this is something I would have liked to have drawn in my sketchbook at some point. I love copying junk in my sketchbook. I recommend copying junk in your sketchbook. If you have sketchbook, copy junk in it. It's so much fun. And then you fill up your sketchbook and people are like, wow, you are a wonderful artist. And you say, I know. one thing I've learned about copying is that it doesn't have to be exact. Your copies do not have to be exact. The whole point of copying is to get as close to exact as possible, but it doesn't have to end up exact because it can become its own thing, as it should. It should be filtered through your mind and hand and become its own thing. That's something we'll talk about in my imagination and the subconscious through cartooning class. Oh, and incidentally, in this class, the two words put together into a phrase, graphic novel, will be forbidden. I freaking hate that phrase. Oh, there's a little throwing star in here. It looks like two squares put together. There's probably a name for this shape in sacred geometry. There's a little diamond inside it. You could spend hours putzing around on a painting. And I have, and I do. And at first, before I started recording paintings, like this month for you, I would ditz around on a painting so long and nothing would seem to happen so I've spent 20, 30, 40 minutes here just doing this. I changed the color of Guadalupe, and actually that is the exact color I need. That's brilliant. And then I did this one little thing. I'm going to maybe do a few more things. Got her face and some detail in her hands. But I'd come back tomorrow in the past and be like, wow, it's the exact same thing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has happened. These changes happen incrementally, and sometimes it's disheartening because they're imperceptible. Like the changes in your own life. When you try to make a change in your life and it doesn't happen because it's imperceptible, you don't notice it happening. For instance, if you've ever tried to lose weight, I used to be a half-ton teen. They actually had to break a wall out of my apartment to get me out of my mattress and into the hospital where I had stomach reassignment surgery. And then I just wasn't hungry anymore. But it took my entire decade of 30s, being 30s, all my 30s was shot because I was losing weight. And every day I woke up and said, come on, I'm not skinny yet. It just takes time. And I don't eat to this day. I eat nothing. Everything I've told you up to this point in the episode has been a lie. Today's episode of Image for Hire, Live Painting with the Skrauss, is brought to you by garlic-flavored sky water. Smells like garlic, tastes like euphoria. I'm really not kidding. This is... Wow, there's a lot of sediment in there. This is delicious. I just scraped the snow off my roof and I melted and it just tastes so great. Even warm, it tastes cold. But I think I need to wash the jar better next time. Okay. Putzing around. I'm so glad you're here to distract myself, Cave Dweller, because otherwise... Andrew Kirsting is talking to us. Hey, you just described my workflow. I know, that's what it is. That's an old comment. Hey, that's right. Not many people know that. Good, I'm glad you agree. I don't remember what you're agreeing to. Oh, well, I gotta run. Maybe I'll catch you in a replay. Okay, so he's gone. My buddy is gone. He had some comments. I thank him. Oh. Oh. Guadalupe. Okay, I'll try to stay out of your way. You can see the workflow. And there's actually an iridescence to this. I should be painting this yellow with iridescence, but I'm not going to. Something amazing about this flower. This plant. I don't know what it is. Oh, another thing about Guadalupe, that's why I started telling you about her. The plant is some kind of sacred thing to Aztecs, and her mantle is covered with stars. And these stars are in the formation of the night sky as it would have been seen back then. And she's wearing the sash around her tummy because that's what Aztec maidens did when they were pregnant, which I guess means they're no longer maidens. She's dressed like a pregnant Aztec. And the Christians go gaga over it because they consider it part of God's humility to appear, for the Virgin to appear as one of the indigenous population. See how he communicates to people? And I say, it's just their indigenous culture coming alive. I think that's a much better way to describe the event. It's funny that I believe Andrew Kirsting was saying, I was describing his workflow when I was saying it's a process of destruction. But he just does sacred geometry. I mean, everything is figured out for him. He doesn't really have to do anything. So I don't know what he can wreck on his paintings. Anyway, look him up. He's pretty interesting. Trying to get back into the flow here and just get this over with. I don't want to putz forever. Oh, look at that. I picked these colors. Uh-oh. Her mantle blends in with the sidewalk. Damn. Now what am I going to do? I suppose it's all right. I'll have to worry about that later. Okay. These weird strawberry-shaped plant forms. They remind me of a Frank cartoon. Frank the psychedelic cat. What? We are almost out of time. It's been so much fun. Whoever's here with me, 3 Tracer, who is that you? Maybe it is. How's it going? You are the only one watching. Nobody is with me on my own Instagram. Nobody. It just goes to show you how faithful your subscribers are. This is another very popular Mexican goddess. It is Virgin de San Juan de los Lagos. Senora de los Lagos was sainted because this apparition of Mary, resurrected a kid. Well, she appeared and then some girl resurrected a kid. And then the girl became a saint and Los Lagos became Senora Los Lagos, the Lady of the Lake. Almost Arthurian. Acrobats were involved. She's really cool. Our Lady of Guadalupe, they actually have a statue of her with real hair. It's unsettling. And the great thing about these kind of details in clothing is that you don't have to draw every line. Because that's the nature of textile. You don't necessarily see everything because the actual texture and shadows get in the way. I'm really feeling stomachy from that rancid oil that I ate on the old granola. Which just goes to show you, never eat anything that comes out of a package. For many reasons. It's loaded with vegetable oils, which are poison, and it's loaded with sugar, which is another kind of poison. Oh, so long. Okay, I'm all alone now. I'm all alone. I have no more friends. Nobody's here to shower love on me with comments, a thumbs up, or anything cool. I'm just going to stop painting. We only have a few minutes left. I haven't seen the 4-minute warning, but it's coming. It's coming, Cave Dweller. Maybe I can finish these flowers. Let's go. Watch the instant replay, because I will edit it. I'm going to leave in all the parts where my mouth is moving, and edit out all the parts where my hand is moving. This is going to be me talking, you listening, and no painting going on. And suddenly the painting will be done. You'll be like, wow, he's a magician. And I'll be like, yes. You can see that I'm more confident in drawing the lines of this flower. I'm just kind of going for it. So I've learned more or less how they go. This one is kind of cool. It's got a downward shift to it. We're almost there. Oh, we got the 1 minute warning. Well, Cave Dweller, it's been fun, it's been rad, it's been radly fun, and it's been real awesome. How do you like my brown sweater? I was going to take it off at the beginning. I'm sorry, I forgot. My neighbor. Well, neighbor, it's been awesome. Thank you for... We didn't even get to Batman or the Black God visiting the Peg Leg Monkey. We didn't even get to those. It's because putzing around takes so much time. That's why painting is not a spectator sport, typically. Typically, it's not a spectator sport. But I thank you for being here. This shirt has French cuffs, which maybe you'll appreciate if I let them down and then do this. Cave Dweller, thanks for being here. One eye on Revision Gallery, one eye on the Skrauss. I love you guys. I love you so much. See you next time.